Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Chelsea with Raising Little Sparrows, and I just wanted to hop on here and do our end of year homeschool recap for the 2021-2022 school year, and just kind of let you know just quickly, like a quick review rundown of what worked, what we're keeping, what I would recommend, and yeah, so I'm going to start with my oldest. So I have, just quick background, I have two sons that I'm homeschooling. My oldest is 11 and has multiple learning challenges, and I have several videos on that. So if you're curious, you can watch some of those. But you will see when I show you the curriculum we use that he's very behind, particularly in math. But he also has dyslexia and dysgraphia, so he's behind on those too, but math is probably our worst subject, our most challenging subject. And then I also have a 6-year-old who is technically kindergarten, and math is his best subject. He is gifted in math, and so you will see he is way ahead on his math curriculum. So they're at kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, which is fine. And I'll go through his stuff second. So Oliver's my oldest. And what we used, or what worked, I should say, our end of year recap here. What we ended up using and so far are really liking is The Good and the Beautiful Math 3 is what he's doing. And he's actually only like not quite a quarter of the way through this, because we didn't start this until, I don't know, late January or February. I don't know. It was only, honestly, this is May. It was only two and a half months ago, maybe 3 months ago, something like that. Anyway, I feel like it was like February. But anyway, we supplement though. So we use this as like our main math. And this is plenty by itself. This is enough by itself. This works fine. I think for most families, this would 100% be all you need. And even for Oliver, really, this is probably all he needs. However, I have found that when we add in some easier practice worksheets to just kind of like build his fluency and his stamina, because that's something he really struggles with on just addition and subtraction. That has been really helpful. So we actually started only like a month ago or so. The Spectrum Math 2. We also have the Math 3. I've held off on that. I wanted, this is, I think towards the end of the book, it's really more where he's at. And it's really just mostly addition and subtraction practice for a good chunk of the book. Skip counting, all of that kind of stuff, some word problems. It's got time, measurement, all that in it. So I think it's good. It's very comprehensive. It has shapes. I'm trying to, and at the end of the book, it starts going into fractions, which he's already done. Like he's done some work with fractions and stuff because of his other curriculum, but he still, definitely needs some practice. And I just feel like this is just good to build the fluency and to build stamina, because in previous years I've had a really hard time getting him to do more than, a few problems at a time, or he just gets very overwhelmed. He's doing so much better with that in general. And now I can give him like one of these pages, and it'll have, trying to see if I can find, it has like 30-ish, 25 to 30 problems per page. And hold on just a second. Sorry, my 6-year-old just popped in and asked me a question. Anyway, so I have found that adding that in has been really beneficial for him. The reason I chose this particular workbook is because we also use the Spectrum Language Arts grade 2, and we've been using this for a lot longer. He's actually, I don't know, like almost halfway through this. Again, he didn't start it until, I don't know, probably January, I started adding it in as an additional supplement to his main language arts, which we have been using and loving for years. The Good and the Beautiful. He is finally just about done with the level 2. We school year round, so he should be done with this. I think he's got like maybe 20 lessons left or something like that. So he's really close to finishing that, and then he'll move into the level 3. We've used it. He's gone through all of level K, level 1, and now, like I said, he's almost done with level 2. And I can't remember when we started it. I want to say it was the beginning of his 2nd grade year. We started with level K because we had just discovered them. So anyway, that's been working really good. I just felt like because of his age, he needed more grammar and practice than what the level 2 was giving him. And he needed it kind of in just, I don't know. I just like the workbook. He actually really enjoys, let me see if I can find the workbook pages. Okay, so like, this one is about adjectives and adverbs. And you just have to find them. And it does a lot of things, like editing paragraphs and that kind of stuff. And I just felt like he needed a lot more practice. We do the CAT test at the end of the year. We also do the Woodcock-Johnson. But anyway, the CAT test, I noticed he's always behind in his grammar. So I felt like he really needed more grammar practice. So that's why we added that in. Just as an update on him, reading-wise, he has passed the level 3 reading test. So his reading really has taken off. I don't want to skip the level 3 though, and put him straight into level 4, because I know there's a lot of like grammar and writing and things that build up in the level 3. So I don't want there to be gaps. So we're just kind of hopefully we'll kind of move through level 3 faster than we did level K through 2. But yes, so far this has been working really well. So he's doing that, and then as an addition to our language arts, also he's doing, and this he just started too not that long ago, and this has been amazing. So this is the Learning Without Tears. We used to use them for handwriting when he was younger, and this is their Building Writers, and this has got to be newer-ish because we used the writing workbooks for years, and I never remember these. But anyway, I just discovered these in the last month, and so we're trying that because writing is something he's really weak on, and he's finally starting to be able to write more and building up stamina. So, and he loves stories and he's very creative. Like, I think he'd be really good at creative writing. And I wanted him to still, be able to learn writing even though he has the dysgraphia and physical writing is tricky for him. So this is really good. We started with B, which is probably below his grade level. But it's, oh gosh, you can see an example of his handwriting. But he even drew, look at that. Like, I'm so proud of him. Like, he would not draw at all a year ago. Like, he's really, like, done. And he wrote this all in one day, too. So this was just copying sentences. But it talks about, like, narrative writing, the different types of writing, and, like, what a story needs to have. It needs to be written in order, details, have an ending, a beginning, middle, and end. And I'm trying to remember oh gosh, it's a lot. So there's narrative writing, information writing, and opinion / argument writing. So I don't know. It builds up to the point where they're writing their own stories and illustrating them and stuff. So I think this will be really good for getting him comfortable. And then we have the one after this for when he's ready. And then also, we are doing the Good and the Beautiful handwriting level 3. He's halfway through this. He loves it. He loves the cursive, like way prefers the cursive over print. I love the way they teach this. This is a big thumbs up from me. So we're really enjoying the Good and Beautiful language arts. We're really enjoying their math, and we're really enjoying their handwriting. Like I said, I do supplement some here and there with some stuff. I really don't think the math you would need to supplement with like an average student or someone who's fine in math. Like I said, my son I just feel more comfortable. I feel like he just needs to really strengthen because he is so behind. some things, but I don't think that would be necessarily something most kids would need. Language arts, same thing. I just think because he's kind of asynchronous, right? Like his reading level is not the same as his writing or his spelling or whatever. So it just has been good for us to kind of add in stuff. But he's really doing well with this. So all of those things I would highly recommend and that we're planning on continuing with. And then for my 6-year-old, who's technically kindergarten, let me grab his stuff. We are doing, all the way across the table. We are doing for language arts the same thing that we're doing for my oldest. He is going through The Good and the Beautiful, level K, and we have the old, well, not the old, but the second edition, I think, or whatever it is. Anyway, of the level K, they've just come out with a new one that's going to be released. Okay, this is the 3rd edition. Going to be released in June. Looks awesome, and I'm sad we didn't get to do it, but he's done fantastic with this one. He's not finished with it yet. I don't know where we're. Okay, so he's over halfway through. So anyway, we could have been finished with this if I did it every day like you're supposed to, but I just didn't want to. So that's just how he's kind of tricky because he's gifted and mostly in math, but he's just kind of a gifted brain, and he's quirky, and some days he's like super on board with school and other days not so much. And we had a big chunk this year kind of in the middle where he decided he did not want anything to do with reading at all, like anything, no phonics. He liked writing and he loved math, but he was like, I'm not interested in phonics. So we kind of only did this a couple days a week. And then I supplemented with some other stuff. We just read books, like that kind of thing. I just don't believe in pushing it and making them hate it, because I did that with my oldest, not knowing he had dyslexia. And my youngest totally doesn't. He reads fine. He just had, lost interest there. And I think he was really just wanting to focus on math. But now he's really interested again. He's picked it back up. So we will just continue on with that. I don't get stuck on like when they finish stuff because we school year round. So we're doing that as like our main language arts. We also use and love the Explode the Code series. He's gone through level 1 or book 1. And we're in just started book 2. And again, we only do that like once a week, sometimes twice a week, as our language arts practice. But it's kind of just a supplement here and there for fun, for extra phonics practice. And that works well. And then we do a lot of Bob books, which is now upside down, sorry. We have all of these. Like literally, I use them all with Oliver, and those were one of the only books that he would not really fight me on reading. We have every single box like set of this or whatever. So a lot of them. And Finn has moved into the stage 2 emerging reader. And he's gone, so I think it's 3 boxes he's gone through. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And he's doing great, and he loves those. So we read a few of those a week, usually probably 3 a week or something. And then, like I said, he had that phase where he was like maybe 1 a week because he just was not interested. But anyway, that's working for us. I highly recommend the Bob books, like for reading practice or phonics practice, early readers, because they're simple, they're short. My kids just have loved them. Like, I mean, they really, really do. And then for handwriting, he's doing The Good and the Beautiful level 1, and he is over halfway through that. And that's going great. He loves handwriting. And he's beautiful handwriting. Like, oh my gosh, for a 6-year-old, like, I just am so amazed, especially given the previous child experience. I'm just amazed. So that's fine. Handwriting's totally fine. And then I don't have it in front of me. Honestly, don't remember what I did with it. But I think I have it downstairs. He's also doing the handwriting without tears, the building writers level A. So like Ollie started with level B, Finn is on level A, and he's doing great with that too. Oh no, it is here. Ha! I hid it from myself. So there. So, and again, we just started this in the last couple weeks. So, and it's pretty easy. again, goes over the same basic things: narrative writing, informative writing, opinion argument writing. But it's just, there's a lot of copy. It's mostly copying until they get to the very end, and then they give them like choices. So they'll start off the sentence themselves, and then they, that way they don't have to worry about spelling, and then it gives them like options as what to pick, and then it shows them what it is and how to spell it. So, which is nice. It's just kind of a nice introduction. So yes, we're going to continue with that. Then we also do, just for funsies, and I did this with Ollie too, happy, sad, feeling, glad. So this is just talks, this is a really good book actually. It talks a lot about feelings and emotions in like a fun, kind of comfortable way. And then the kids, add to the doodles and pictures, and I really like that because it helps them kind of name their feelings, and it builds their vocabulary and stuff too, and it helps us kind of open up discussion. There's another one from that book, I can't remember, or from that series or author or whatever. I can't remember what it's called, but it looked really good too. But that's the one we have. We've been going through that with him. And then for math, he's already finished this, but The Good and the Beautiful math too. So we finished this, I think in April. Maybe even March. No, I think April. Anyway, we've already finished this. We finished this over a month ago for sure. Month and a half, something like that. And he flew through this. He really, really enjoyed it a lot. I think this is his favorite math curriculum that we've tried. He did really well with the Singapore. We were doing the Singapore dimensions, and he'd done really well with that. Kindergarten, we did the kindergarten level in preschool, and then first grade level, and also in preschool. And then we were on the second grade level this year. And that's what he did the first half of this year. And he just got to the point where he never wanted to do math, which was really odd. Or he would ask to do math, but he'd want to do, like, write out his own problems and do his own math, and which was okay. And we would do a lot of that. And we did a lot of hands-on. We have a lot of manipulatives. So we have Montessori manipulatives and different things. And he'd pull those out. But he'd never, every time I pulled that workbook out, he would just give me a heck of a time. I mean, it was, like, weird. And he would just say it was boring. Can we do something else? So I think because he's advanced and it's in these upper grades, like where they do start to get more, smaller font, more problems per page, less illustrations, that it was just kind of like a little bit too much for him. Like it just was too boring, not interesting or engaging enough. And it is kind of an advanced math, and some of the concepts just didn't appeal to him for some reason, like the way they presented it. So, and he just would want to do them a certain way, but not do it the way the book was trying to get him to do it, because it's trying to get you to explore the different ways you can solve problems, which is, I think, a great idea. But he would just balk at that a little bit. Like he had his way he wanted to do it. So this is really nice because even in the upper levels, they still keep it pretty colorful. There's a lot of variety. And there's little games like sprinkled throughout, and he just really took to it. So some of it I would rewrite out on like a dry erase board, but like most of this we were able to do like as is, straight from the book, and he just really liked it. So we've enjoyed this. I recommend this. It's got so much variety, and I think that's what he needed, because he is gifted and he likes that, that variety. So he just gets bored. Where Ollie almost needs more of like the same thing over and over. So that's been good. It's been really working for us. He's in the level 2, he's in the level 3, like Oliver. So they're actually both doing the same level right now. And then for history, I didn't do any history with Oliver because he goes to a morning program, and they do some social studies and history and science, and I only have him in the afternoons, and there wasn't enough time to like add in something else, so I ended up not doing history with him. But now he's off. Today was his last day doing that program, so he'll be home going forward. But Finley, I did do our favorite, which is Beautiful Feet. We've done several of their elementary programs or whatever. And this one, the Around the World with picture books. This is the part 2. We actually aren't done with this one yet. We've only done the part 1. And I did the part 1 with Oliver when he was in 2nd grade, I'm pretty sure, and loved it. And now I'm doing it with Finn and loving it as well. I mean, it's just fantastic. It is a fantastic curriculum. And when we're finished with this, we're doing American history, and I have Knotgrass that I'm going to do with Ollie, but I think I'm going to stick with the Beautiful Feet for the most part with Finn, because I just don't know that he's ready for Knotgrass. But yeah, we love it. So I'll update on that later. But these are the ones I would recommend and that we've loved this year.